Exactly.
And then he fucking grabs the baseball bat and just straight hits her too. But but the babyface killer makes sure that she turns around and sees him, and then whacks her with the baseball bat.
Donnie Donowitz.
Yeah. Dang, straight
to the dome.
Yeah, that was a good one. I really do like that one.
What about you,
yeah,
James?
the transition was amazing for that. Mine would probably have to be I want to say the scene where she gets arrested, or she makes herself get arrested.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where the highway patrolman pulls her over and he's like, "Ma'am," he's like, "You were speeding." He's like, and she's obviously like, freaking out because she's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here. He's gonna kill me." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he puts a flashlight on her and he's like, "Have you been drinking? Are you under the influence of alcohol or any drugs?" And she's like, No. And then she's like, "Wait, if I was, would you arrest me and put me in a cell?" And then he's like, "Yeah, that's the law." And then she's like, "I've been drinking and doing lots of drugs. I've been smoking weed and doing it all.
Pills, you name it."
And yeah. And then he's like, "All right." And he's like, "Step out of the car." And then she turns around and puts her hands behind her back, even though he didn't even ask her. And he's like, "All right, okay." I think he was just going to put her in the back of the car. And she kind of gets in the car and she's like, "We got to get out of here." And she thinks, everything's fine. At least she thinks she's safe. And then the guy gets a call on his walkie and he kind of starts talking. And then all of a sudden, wham, this car, I think it's a Dodge Challenger or Charger, drives by and smacks him. Like, just demolishes him.
Yeah, and annihilates his body. I thought that this was great because this was pushing the horror envelope where when you see the aftermath, the body's all contorted and you're like, oh shit, like they actually showed some, like that was a violent, pretty violent death.
That one was pretty gruesome. And then, the babyface killer gets out and kind of knocks on the window and she's like, like, what do you want? What do you want? And then he kind of just stares at her for a little bit and then walks away. And I think that throws her off. And then I thought it was really cool and definitely goes with the movie. He pulls out a birthday candle and it's lit, and then he drops it. And that's when Tree realizes that the cop car is leaking gasoline, and it just so happened to leave a trail, a perfect trail to where the car was parked. And they drop the candle on there, and then the car blows up, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" And then it just blows up, and then when she wakes up the same day to redo it, you see like the fire in her eyes. I thought that was a really cool thing as well.
I wanted to say what I loved about that scene was the when Tree is in the back seat and and the babyface killer or her roommate, I forget the roommate's name, but we know now that it was the roommate. They do this really cool shot where they're looking at each other, and you can see when the camera's on Tree, you can see the reflection of the babyface mask, like in blue neon, overlaid on Tree's face whilst they're kind of communicating. And I thought that was really a beautiful image for the film. And then Tree kind of loses her shit because she's like, "Yo, why don't you take off your fucking mask and tell me who you are, you fucking pussy?" And she's like spitting all over herself when she does it. And I feel like throughout the entire movie, I really felt like what she was going through in those few minutes. You know what I mean? I felt like that was probably Jessica's best acting chops right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
what else can we talk about this? Anything else?
Overall rating?
I would give this a 7.
That's okay.
I agree. I would say it's a hard 7.
I'd probably give it an 8. I don't know. For some reason, I just really enjoy this movie. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just the I don't know. I really don't know. I just like the story and the way it's basically like if you got Scream and Groundhog's Day and threw those two into a blender.
Yeah.
and that's what you would make. I love Groundhog Day, and Scream is obviously a classic. So I mean, put those two together and you get this. So definitely, it's just, to me, it's a really enjoyable movie. And like I said, I watched this a million times. Definitely, I'd have to give it an 8 for me. Solid 8.
Very nice.
Do you have any swan facts for this one?
I do. Would you want to jump into them?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Swan facts. All right. Originally, this was supposed to be produced by Michael Bay with Rogue Pictures.
What the fuck?
I'm so glad when you're reading off, the synopsis for this, and then the history, a little brief history on the making of it. I am so glad.
Megan Fox was in it.
Megan Fox was not in this. Yes, I am extremely happy.
Machine Gun Kelly's new girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm just so excited. I'm so thrilled to know that didn't happen.
April O'Neil.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
Did you ever say that again?
All right. Moving on. The original script was written by comic book writer Scott Lobdell, who set out to turn popular slasher tropes on their head by making the mean girl and good girl essentially the same person. His script actually didn't include Tree's birthday or the romantic subplot. This was added later by Landon's rewrite. That's interesting. The film was actually mostly shot on location in New Orleans, Louisiana. Despite a few scenes towards the conclusion, I guess they ran out of shooting time. Like they went over their schedule, so they ended up having to go down to LA and kind of shoot certain scenes, like when she kicks the roommate out of the window, and they have that big fight and stuff. That was, I believe, shot in LA. The original ending was to be the final moments of the film. Tree awakes in the hospital and is confronted and poisoned by Stephanie, the disgruntled wife of Mr. Butler, aka the older dude Tree was having an affair with in the pretty much the first half of the film. What do you guys think about that?
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a different ending.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't think it would have been good.
No.
I think the roommate was good because she had more of a purpose. And I'm not saying that the wife didn't have a purpose, but we only saw her in one scene and that was it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Alright. A follow-up to that, the original killers were gonna be Mr. Butler and his wife in the original film script.
Oh, fuck.
Like
okay.
Where they were like a team of killers, kind of pretty much Scream-esque, I would say.
Yeah.
Which I think that could have been a cool twist if they did it correctly. Could have been fun.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
The Bayfield University baby killer mask was designed by Tony Gardner, who actually designed all of the original Scream masks, and I think he's done work on some of the later Chucky movies.
Nice.
For the design.
Sick. That's cool.
Jessica Rothe was made comfortable with her nude scene because it was an all-female crew for that scene. Or that day.
Is that when she's walking through the campus?
Yeah, naked.
Yeah.
So I guess, even though, of course, it's PG-13, so you don't actually see anything besides her like upper backside and her face from the front. It's like a close-up shot of her face, which is it's a pretty fun scene. But I guess she decided to actually go full frontal that day anyway, to kind of get in the mindset of her character for real. So it was a big issue, I guess, because that actual campus that they were shooting on was a real functioning campus in New Orleans. So they had to make sure that not too many people were around peeping toms, getting videos and shit. Yeah. So nothing leaked online. And apparently they actually pulled it off, and they caught the final shot, the one that we saw in the film, in just 2 or 3 takes, and they were good.
Nice.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that would suck to have to keep doing that. Like, 15th take. That would suck so bad.
She's like, God damn it, it's hot out here. New Orleans? I mean, damn.
Yeah.
In my final swan fact for the evening, the film's crew was actually sued for too closely matching a New Orleans Pelicans mascot, deemed Freaky King Cake Baby Eater.
Wow.
What the hell?
Yeah, I guess there was their mascot looks pretty close to what Happy Death Day did, and they actually went to file a suit against them. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into whether they won or not. I'm sure they
probably settled
out of court, especially with the amount of money this movie made. It could, pay off so many people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my swan facts for this episode.
Nice.
Those are cool. I like that. That was cool.
Thank you. I always trying to make it interesting.
Oh yeah, every time.
I actually have a interview. I think it's an exclusive through Black Tree with a couple of the stars of the film. It's like 4 minutes long. If you guys want to hear it,
let's do this.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right.
The setup kind of reminds me of the terrifying maze that I went through last night.
Oh, you went through the maze?
Yes.
Did you have fun?
I kind of closed my eyes halfway through it.
Understandable.
So kind of had fun.
Just like feeling your way through in the dark.
Punking out. So completely terrifying. So well done, Universal Studios.
They did an amazing job.
So Happy Death Day. It's coming out soon. Most important question, what the heck does TREE stand for? Do we know?
Teresa.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Okay.
But she's just that cool. Also, our production company for the film was called A Tree Falls in the Woods, and I kind of like that as a, reference for the film, that tree keeps dying over and over again and no one knows. So if a tree falls in the wood, does anyone hear it?
Oh, that's clever.
I know, right?
All right.
Did you not know that?
I'm learning a lot of stuff today.
We're learning something new. I really enjoyed the film.
Thank you.
I will say, I thought, Israel, that you were the killer at one point. So he's too sweet. He's too nice.
There's something a little suspicious about that.
Yeah, something a little bit suspicious. So
why is he being so nice to her?
Why is he so nice and she's being so mean? But when you all were reading the script, who were the first people you thought were the killer?
Ooh, okay. So the whole cast is basically a giant suspect list. Mm-hmm. So throughout, it was Danielle and Carter for me when I was reading it.
Yeah, Danielle and Carter, but I also have to say that when I found out who it was, I gasped. Like, reading the script, I had no idea. It came completely out of the blue for me.
The end I had to read twice to understand
make sure
that.
What happened.
Oh, wait. No. But I'm really happy.
It's a really good twist.
I'm really happy with the way it came out, too.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good twist. You know what's funny? I actually guessed it.
Really?
While we were watching it. It was something, no spoiler, but it was something about your relationship with the professor. I'm like, there has to be something else going on there. Yeah. So, but I'm a huge horror fan. So
no, that's good.
But I loved kind of the idea of course, the Groundhog Day, every day. I think we could all think of a day we would love to relive in our lives. But I don't want to ask you that. Is there a day that you're like, how did I make it out alive? Figuratively, of course. But how did you make it through this?
A lot of days are just flooding back into
so many. We were kind of talking about yesterday that the day of the first heartbreak that you ever go through, that's kind of one of those days that in the moment you're like, nothing this bad has ever happened to me in my entire life. So probably something close to that, I think.
Yeah, heartbreak, a death in the family, somebody close to you, where just emotionally it's too much. Mm-hmm. I feel like those are the days where it's like,
Did it ever get... Be honest, did it ever get boring on set having to do every single, have to redo these scenes?
No, not really.
It really didn't.
We were goofing off quite a bit
Yeah.
in between takes, but also we